attributes of OR. That is, we need to consider interdisciplinary approach and the integrated approach in order to get the better solution. Okay, for that reason, we need to follow with respect to that of scientific approach itself, which is having identification of problem, establishment of model, then obtain the solution for whatever the model they are defined, testing of that model to get the appropriate solution. Once you got the appropriate solution, we need to implement that is for the better outcome. Okay, this is what the method is to be adopted in order to get the better solution by the use of attributes. Next, with respect to that, okay, that is stages in operational research. Okay, there will be 5 stages. First one, which is that identification of the problem in order to formulate it in a proper way. Second stage is that establishment of models. Okay, there will be 3 models we are defined here. That is iconic model, analog model, then mathematical model. Okay, today now we can discuss about how many models are there, what are the models which are to be there, in that what method we can adopt. Those things also we can discuss in detail. Then stage 3 is that whatever the model you have defined, okay, that might be with respect to that of analog, that might be with respect to that of mathematical. Okay, for that we have to get a proper solution. For that we are going to use with respect to that particular algorithm in order to resolve whatever the problem which is to be defined. Okay, this is third stage. Fourth stage is what? The testing of model solution. Once you designed a proper model, for that model, I need to get proper output. So that I need to test it out. Whether required outcome, what we defined, what is we are expecting the output, whether we are getting that from the design model or not, we need to make sure. Then only that solution will be used for the implementation point of view. So that the testing model is also be one of the component. Then stage 5 is what? Implementation of the solution. Once the solution what we are going to define, okay, that should be get with a proper, appropriate and reliable solution, then I am going to go implement with respect to that of particular application. If not, again we need to do improvement. We can come from stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4. Then we can adopt with respect to that of the stage 5. Okay, this is the repetitive method which is to be used in almost all type of research, which is to be used for the operational application point of view. Now, today's topic is that models in OR. This is most important. In many of the examination also they might be asked. Okay, OR is nothing but operational research. Okay, these models can be defined based on which type of system are to be there, in that which type of parameter to be considered according to the requirement. Got my point? What I told. Once you did all these things, okay, then we can proceed for the same operational point of view. 1 minute. Okay, here, whatever the parameter which are to be present, according to that cluster of parameter, we have defined in the model to get appropriate solution. So that those models can be defined based on the parameter we are going to consider. The first thing is that the degree of abstraction, function what you are going to use, time horizon, what is the time period which is to be required, then structure, how we are going to model the system for the execution point of view, then nature of environment, then extent of generality. Okay, this can also be used in order to make the general or specific models. Okay, with respect to first, we need to concentrate on degree of abstraction. Okay, in this, what we are going to define? Once you have defined a problem, for that problem, we should know about what are the parameters we are going to consider, how those parameters we are going to represent. Okay, by the use of mathematical equation, mathematical expression, or any algorithm to be built in order to get the appropriate output. For that reason only we are going to define that type of models are called as mathematical models. Then second one is language models. Okay, you might be heard about it. Okay, low level language, medium level, high level languages. Because many languages are available in order to build a program and execute to get a proper solution. Okay, example like that, C program, C++, Java, Python, all these are what? Languages. These languages are used for the what? The solution point of view. Okay, those type of modelings are called as language models. Okay, then concrete model, which is having the combination of 2 or 3 type of operational models. Those are called as a concrete type of model. It might be having both mathematical model with respect to that of the language. Okay, the or other type of algorithm which have to be get implemented in order to get the appropriate output itself. Okay, these are most commonly using in almost all the application. Okay, then function. Okay, descriptive model. Because whatever industries or the organizations are available, for those organizations, many type of functionalities are there. According to that functionality, which type of function we need to monitor and we have to convey the problem with respect to that of the solution is itself is called as a function. Okay, that function might be of descriptive type, that function might be predictive type, that function might be normative type. Okay, based on functionality which is to be offered, depending on the solution which is to be required. Those type of models are also be most commonly using. Those are belongs to the what? Functional type of models. That is a descriptive model, then predictive model, then normative model. Okay, these models where we can use them. Okay, especially where the complex operations are to be presented based on functionality which are to be defined by the individual user. Okay, there we can proceed for what? The functional type of models itself. Then third one is what? Time horizon. Okay, here time is also be one of the parameter in all the work what we are going to carry with respect to the completion point of view. Okay, that might time might be instant or it might be dynamic. Based on requirement of time horizon which to be required in order to execute systematically, we can proceed for the modeling of the system. Okay, that itself is called as the static models. Okay, if time is specified, if I allocated 30 minutes, 1 hour, 1 day, okay, that is what? Static modeling. But I don't know, something went wrong in a system. That is called as dynamic models. Okay, those type of model also we can consider. Okay, system is failed to operate. Whether we can predict that? We are assuming, but at what instant which can occur, we don't know. Those type of modelings are to be defined as a dynamic models. Okay, these are to be based on what? Time which to be required in order to define the proper operational point of view in order to execute systematically. Okay, those are to be called as a time horizon type. Then fourth one is structure. Okay, in case of stages, I have defined, okay, these iconic, analog, mathematical model. These are what? Based on parameter, what you are going to consider in order to get a predefined problem to be get the solution for the defined input and output. Okay, whatever you are going to consider, that will be defined in the structural point of view. Those type of models are called as a structure models. Okay, that might be consideration of physical parameter or that also be called as a iconic parameters. Okay, those type of models are called as physical models. Pressure, temperature, humidity. Okay, all these are also some constraints which are to be also be considered as a parameter in order to get a predefined output or outcome. Okay, those are called as a iconic or physical models itself. Okay, these physical models are also be designed in such a way that what type of output which is required for us we need to get. Okay, for that reason, we are defining a structure of operation, what is to be followed. Okay, then among this also there will be analog or the schematic models. Okay, these schematic model or analog models are also be most commonly using in almost all the application. Okay, those are to be defined in the form of operations. Once the operation is achieved in a proper way, then obviously those type of structure models are also be used. Then third one is what? Symbolic and the mathematical models. Okay, here in case of operational point of view, many parameters are present. Then obviously we are going to measure those parameters in a complex type of operation, so that we are going to define those in the form of mathematical expressions or the equations. Those type of models are itself is called as a symbolic or the mathematical models. Okay, these models are also be most commonly using in case of OR. Then nature of environment. Okay, it means some system or the operations which are to be defined in any circumstances based on environment or the surrounding which to be present. We are going to define its operation. Okay, those type of modelings are called as a nature of environment. One which it is that deterministic models. Second one which it is that probabilistic model. Okay, deterministic means I know at this time which it is going to complete. That type of operations are called as deterministic operations. In those operations, if you are defining if something problem is raised, how you are going to solve immediately in order to resolve that problem. Okay, those type of models are to be constructed in case of OR. Those are itself is called as a deterministic models. Then probabilistic model is what? At any instant which might be occur, which it is not predictable. Those type of models are called as a probabilistic model. Means we are probability can be identified. At that probability, it has to take action at that instant. Okay, those type of models are called as a probabilistic models. Then seventh one, which is that extent of generality. Okay, in this what? Depending on specific operation or the general operations, we are going to define. Those are called as a general model or the specific model. Based on our requirement, how we are going to function, how we are going to operate, that will define it. Okay, those are to be get operated and monitored by the system alone. Okay, these are to be most commonly using in almost all the cases as per our requirement. Once you define all these operations, then you can proceed for the consideration itself. Okay, these are most commonly using in almost all type of operations. Once you did all these type of operations, then we can proceed for all the operational point of view itself. Okay, getting my point. Listening me now, anyone confirm?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, these all type of models are most important for the examination point of view. Okay, those things you can concentrate. Okay, then 1 minute. Okay, with respect to the types of mathematical models. Okay, because whatever method you are adopting in order to solve simplex method, there you are going to adopt the mathematical model. Okay, these are the different types of mathematical model. That is mathematical techniques, then statistical techniques, inventory models, allocation model, sequencing models, routing models, then comparative model, then queuing models, dynamic programming model, simulation techniques, decision theory, heuristic models, then goal programming, reliability theory, Markov analysis, combined